Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to All Praise Picks. Today we're looking at the NFL. We have two Monday Night Football games. This is the second game of Monday Night Football. We have the Atlanta Falcons playing against the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas on December 16th, 2024. Currently, the Falcons are 6-7, which is second place in the NFC South, and the Raiders are 2-11, which is last place in the AFC West. Uh, the Falcons are favored in this game, and I do feel like the Falcons will win this game. They've been struggling lately, but I do think that they have a good chance of bouncing back, especially offensively in this one. So in this video, I'll break down the parlays that I have in this game, as well as give a quick recap of uh, how we did on Sunday. And as always, I'll break down the lines, give you my thoughts, and hopefully if you tap in, we can all win. So starting off with the Sunday recap, we did pretty well on Sunday. We made a few bucks and hope to continue that into these Monday Night Football games. These are just a quick screenshot of the parlays that I had for the Jets versus Jaguars game. Um, a lot of plus money plays that we hit, and we're close on hitting the long shot parlay. I think we're just one leg away from that one. If the Jets were tied or winning at halftime, that one would have hit as well. But we also hit on Jameer Gibbs to score 2 touchdowns. So overall, made profit on Sunday and hope to continue it into Monday Night Football. Before I get into my Monday Night plays, be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to my channel. Appreciate you guys for watching. Here are the parlays. So starting off with this plus 145 parlay, it's pretty much focused on the Atlanta offense. I do think they'll bounce back in this game. They've struggled lately, losing four straight games, to the Saints, Broncos, Chargers, and Vikings. And Kirk Cousins overall has just not been playing well, but I do think against this Las Vegas Raiders defense, uh, Atlanta's offense will play much better. So for this parlay, I have Bijan Robinson to have over 75 rushing and receiving yards, as well as for Drake London to have 50 receiving yards and Kyle Pitts to have 25 uh, receiving yards. And starting off with Bijan Robinson, so he's gone over 75 receiving yards and rushing yards in his last two games, and he's just been a lot more involved with 22 carries versus Minnesota and 26 versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And he's also had 2 receptions in 5 straight games, and I think that with how poorly Kirk Cousins has been playing, I think Bijan Robinson in this one will just have a lot more offensive opportunity to gain yards through the air as well as a running back, which he's great at. On the season, the Raiders are pretty bad against the running back position. They're ranked 29th overall, with ranking 30th in 20-yard rushes allowed, as well as 25th in receiving yards allowed to running backs, and 30th in receiving touchdowns allowed to running backs. So I think that this game just kind of calls for Bijan Robinson to carry the load offensively, and I think he will be able to get over 75 rushing and receiving yards. I also have Drake London to have over 50 receiving yards. So London, he is Kirk Cousins' number one target, and I think rightfully so. He's a pretty good receiver, and he's gone over 50 receiving yards in 4 out of his last 5 games, including 4 out of his last 4 games. He had 70 yards receiving versus Minnesota, 86 versus the Chargers, um, 61 versus Denver, and 97 versus New Orleans. And what I really like about Drake London is how many targets he's getting per game. He is Kirk Cousins' number one receiver and has a pretty high target share within this offense. And he's gone over 4 receptions in 3 out of his last 4 games. So I do think that if Kirk Cousins is passing the ball a lot in this game, Drake London has a good chance of going over 50 receiving yards. I also like Kyle Pitts to go over 25 receiving yards. And I like his matchup against the Raiders defense, who plays pretty similar to Tampa Bay. On the season, the Raiders versus the tight end position is 30th overall and ranked bottom 5 in categories to the tight end, including uh, receiving touchdowns, receptions of 20 and 40 yards. And as I mentioned, it's a similar matchup to Tampa Bay, who Kyle Pitts has played very well against in his career, especially this season. Versus Tampa Bay, he had 4 receptions for 91 yards at Tampa Bay on October 27th. And then at home versus Tampa Bay, he had 7 for 88. So I do think that he'll probably get more targets in this game. And I think that it's like kind of like a buy low spot on Kyle Pitts, who was a highly coveted tight end when he came into the NFL and really just needed a good quarterback in his offense to allow him to shine. And I think he will in this game. So at plus 145, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, I put a little bit more than half a unit on this parlay just because I have other bets in this video that I'll show you guys. But at plus 145, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have a 145% return on investment. which is a great return on investment. And I do lean towards the skill players in this game rather than just Kirk Cousins. But uh, with that return on investment, just be sure to have bankroll consciousness and understanding of your finances when deciding to place these bets if you do decide to place it with me. So now taking a deeper look at Drake London and Kyle Pitts, I do like both of them to go over their uh, receptions marks for this game. So Drake London, I like him for over 5.5 receptions, and Kyle Pitts for over 2.5 receptions. I think that this is just a bounce back game for Kirk Cousins, and um, he just has not been playing well lately. But I just don't think that he is as bad as he has been playing. I think it's just more so against the defenses that he was playing. So he's playing against the Vikings, Chargers, and Broncos, who are, I'd probably say, top 10 defenses each against the quarterback position. And he hasn't had a passing touchdown in 4 straight games. Um, and he even didn't have a passing touchdown versus New Orleans, who is my favorite team. And they honestly do not have that good of a passing defense, especially without Marshawn Lattimore being there anymore. So I do think that against the Raiders, Kirk Cousins should play pretty well and should be able to get the ball to his skill players, including Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Um, so at plus 220, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have a 220% return on investment, which is pretty good return. And per usual, just have bankroll consciousness and understanding of your finances when deciding to place these bets if you decide to place it with me. So now taking a look at Kirk Cousins, I do like him to go under 33 passing attempts in this game. I just think that Atlanta will be leading throughout this entire game, which will probably lead to them running the ball more often, especially in the second half of the game, than throwing the ball. And in looking at Kirk Cousins' recent game logs, he's only gone over this mark in games that they were losing. He went over against Minnesota, uh, the Chargers, as well as New Orleans, having 37, 39, and 38 pass attempts in those games. But in games that they were winning, um, he went under this mark. And at the time of recording this video, Aiden O'Connell is questionable to even play in this game. So if Aiden O'Connell doesn't play and it's Desmond Ridder playing in this game, I just don't really see how the Raiders would be winning at, like, especially later on in this game, which would probably lead to the Falcons just running the ball more often than passing the ball, which is why I took him for under 33 pass attempts in both these parlays, as well as for the Falcons to win their first half by 1 point and for Bijan Robinson to score an anytime touchdown. Um, I just really like Robinson in this game. As I mentioned before, the Raiders are pretty poor against the running back position across all categories, and I think that the Falcons will be able to just easily win this game, or at least they should be. But at plus 100 and plus 105, I put 1 unit on each of these parlays for essentially an even money return as long as the parlays win. But as always, just have bankroll consciousness and understanding of your finances when deciding to place these bets if you do decide to place it with me. So this is the last parlay that I have. It's the long shot parlay that I like to add to the end of all my NFL videos. And it's at plus 1,400. So I put a little bit more than half a unit on this one. But I have Kirk Cousins to not throw an interception. He's thrown an interception in 4 straight games. And I don't think that he's that bad of a quarterback. I think that he just got put in adverse situations, especially versus the Vikings and Chargers, where he had 2 interceptions and 4 interceptions. So over his last 4 games, he's thrown 6 interceptions, and I think that especially if he's having less than 33 pass attempts in this game, he likely will just be taking care of the ball and not throwing it into double coverage or putting the ball in risky positions to be intercepted. As I mentioned before, I do like him to go under 33 pass attempts, as well as for Drake London to go over his receptions mark at 5.5, and for Kyle Pitts to have over 25 receiving yards. Overall, I like the game to go under 45 points, and I think that while Atlanta should be able to score at least like 20 points in this game, I don't really see where the other points will come from, especially on the Raiders side of the ball. With Aiden O'Connell questionable, Desmond Ridder is a far cry from Aiden O'Connell, who is kind of just like a bottom tier quarterback in his own right, respectively. So I just think that this game will go under and will probably be pretty low scoring, with Atlanta probably winning by a touchdown or 10 points. But at plus 1,400, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you'll have a 1,400% return on investment, which is a pretty good return on investment. And I put just a little bit more than half a unit to have a payout of 450. But as always, just have bankroll consciousness and understanding of your finances before deciding to place these bets. So those are all the parlays I have for you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video with everybody that place bets or will be watching these games, as well as subscribe to my channel. I do have another Monday Night Football video out right now for the Bears and Vikings, which I think will be a better offensive game and probably a better game to watch overall. But appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, peace out.